It's a beautiful morning though, but very cold last night. Very cold indeed. I think it was 2 degrees maybe, but I mean it must have been lower than that for it to frost. I think, surely. Must have been freezing point at some point. Oh. And Boy had several blankets and cushions on him last night. Good boy, wait. Let's get this one to mop up wet paws. Good boy, in. Good boy. Oh, it's cold, isn't it? Oh, get cozy again. There we go. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, we're still toasty. So I had a wool blanket, a cotton blanket, well I think it's part synthetic actually as well, a teddy fleece, 15 tog double duvet on me, doubled because I double it over on me and I wrap myself up in it, and buried somewhere under here is my hot water bottle. So that's what kept us cozy last night. And two very cozy teddy fleece pillowcases. Don't know if you can see my breath or not. Don't think you can. Now, under here is a Tupperware pot. I'm not going to show you inside it because it's full of my pee. So yeah, that much. It's full. I ain't going out. So that's what the real picture of camping in a van in winter looks like. It's bloody freezing sometimes, but you get to wake up to views like that, and you get to cozy up with guys like this every night. And yeah, I don't know what else to say really. It's bloody freezing. So I'm going to try and film me changing from bed mode to day mode. Bear in mind my arse might be in the picture most of the time because I face that way and roll it back, but we'll try and give it a go. Yes, it can be a bit awkward, but it's perfectly doable. So this is in a Peugeot Partner Tepee van MPV. So first of all I make the bed. I then put the cushions up there out of the way. I don't know if you can see, they are lodged between the seats, out of the way. My mattress is a bit overlong, so I stuff it down the back of the driver's seat. So first thing I do is pull that back up. As you can see, my blanket over the top, and then I pull my mattress up from here, all of it at the moment, all of it together. Pull that over to make space here for me to stand. And then I take my bedding and I fold that first, because that's not going to get folded up with the mattress. It's going to go over the top when it's in sofa mode. All will become clear. And just fold this one in half, well, not quite half, into a third. About so. Pull back the bedding like so. So that's still the foot end of the duvet. get the top end of the duvet, pull it back. There's my bra. I was blooming put in my bed to keep warm, and then I couldn't bloody find it. So I had to put a cold bra on, and there's no fun in that. Hutch it forward or back or whatever into place. Now I know where my neck needs to go exactly to allow space for the front seat to come back to drive. So you'll get to know where it needs to be situated. Then I take the duvet, which I have doubled over me, so I'm wrapped completely in it, very, very cosy. Then I actually wrap that, I tuck it down the back of what is now a sofa. Put the blanket over. Now, the reason I have a blanket over the top of my duvet as well is not for warmth. It's a way of storing it, obviously, without it taking up too much room, because it's on already. But also, I keep it on to keep my hairy boy's hairs off my duvet and onto the blanket, so I can take the blanket out. It's just a thin blanket. Take that out and give it a good shake every day. And then the duvet doesn't need dragging out of the van every single day. And it keeps it from, I'll show you, because I'm right next to Boy's bed. So I took that down there, so it acts as a shield, so I don't get a hairy bed. Well, a little bit, but not too much. Okay, so we continue. So I then just tuck any excess back into the space, pull this down, tuck in my duvet at the sides, so tuck it down there as well, just so that if I open the side door and it's raining, the rain goes on the first blanket, not on my duvet. Protect the duvet at all times. So then I take my pillows, I put one to the side and one to the back, tuck them in. I then take what's been stored in the middle of the seats is my cushion. Now my cushion is stuffed with a jumper, so that's another good tip, is to store clothes in cushion covers if you have not enough space to store your clothes. My clothes are up there, I don't know if you can see, stored on the top shelf. Most of my clothes, believe it or not, stuff up there, and then jumpers and soft things I put into cushions. And that, I don't have a fancy tripod, so I'm now in sofa mode, and this blanket is my beautiful wool Tibetan shawl, which is pure yak wool and very cozy, which I use during the day to keep my legs warm in the van or around my shoulders, whatever. Very cozy. So it might have looked a bit complicated, cumbersome, but actually once we have done it about, I don't know, 3 or 4 times, you soon get into the swing of it. And it took me longer to do just now because I was filming it as well and trying to explain to you. So the whole thing takes about five or 6 minutes, something like that, to get it neat and tidy. And as you can see, very comfortable. I can kick back now, get the heater on. So here's my stove set up. So it's stored here. I store my, this is the space I have allowed. When I designed these shelves, I designed them with exact spaces for everything to fit in. So that's where stove space. Now I use a folding step that folds up and it goes along the sides or along here. It's very easy to store. My old chopping board that I have from home, and it just sits on there. I put this just off to the side and leaving enough space for this guard to go around the side. One-handed, but there we go. So that protects the sides of the van. It also helps to heat faster. You can see how cold it is in here because this is all steamed up. And that leaves just enough space at this side for my cups or spoons or whatever. So that's my stove setup. Now, the other really important thing when you're using a stove like this is ventilation. Never, ever, ever have a cooker, or I have got in here, I've got, it's like a cylinder and it goes over the top, and that emits, it pushes the air, the hot air, the heat out instead of just like up in one space. I'm actually not going to get it out because it's not worth it. I'm going to be moving on shortly, so I'm not going to bother heating up the van fully. So I'm just going to make a brew, and that'll be enough to get us going. But never ever put the stove on without ventilation. As I've shown you in a previous video, I've got two buttons here. One opens the boot, the entire boot lid on this particular model of the Peugeot Tepee, Peugeot Partner Tepee, and this one opens the window. So I can open the entire window. All right, so we're going to have it open there. Now I have a little chock of wood, and what I do is I slot it in there, and that keeps it open a good couple of inches. Now I can hear the van next to me is a Volkswagen. Well, they're not right next to me, but parked in this wonderful car park as well. It's a pub car park. Some pubs let you park up there if you have a drink or a meal. And I can hear they've got their engine running. It's very cold this morning, so I think we're doing pretty well. I've not got my engine running yet. So let's get a brew on now. Rookie error, mistake I made was I forgot to take the gas canister out last night to keep it somewhere warm, so I suspect I might have a bit of bother this morning getting my stove going, but we'll see. Let's see. Ah, it's okay, we're cooking with gas. Right, I'll switch that off for the moment while I fill my kettle up. Kettle filled. Oh, heat. Lovely. The beauty of not fitting the sink properly is I can move it. Everything's movable. Nothing is fully fixed. I mean, things are sometimes, all right, the tap is fixed in here by a pipe under there. It's called a USB tap, available widely on Amazon. and I've got this little matting here that helps to keep the sink in place, so it kind of sticks to it, nothing moves. And I store my kettle up there, daytime. That's the pub's wine glass. I must remember to take it back. Oh, so all we need to do now is wait for this beautiful kettle to boil, and I can have a nice cup of hot honey water. Now I've got the engine running, and the fan to demist the walls, the windows. As you can see, my gas is running very low. Now that could be that the canister's getting low, but I know it's not because I changed it not long ago. So this is because the temperature is too low for this gas. So I've got another one which I've been warming up, because I forgot to tuck it in my sleeping bag last night, in my duvet last night with me. I mean, I don't really like sleeping with gas canisters, but put it at the back, at the bottom, you know, so you're all right. So I'm going to switch this off. It'll pop out. That's another way you can tell it does that. And I'm going to change the gas canister. Now there's still plenty in this, so I'm going to just pop it to one side. And this one hopefully is a bit warmer. So pop that in there. Just make sure, make sure it's in position properly. Like so. That's better. Okay, so there's another tip. So always keep a gas canister nice somewhere warm so it doesn't get too cold. I'm going to use my thermos this morning because it's cold. It's so cold even the honey's not coming down because it's cold, and by the time it hits the cup it will bloody freezing. So I'm going to that's another tip, is to use a thermos in a van. It keeps your brew warmer for longer, obviously, and you can make more than what one cup can hold. So there's another tip. And I don't quite fill mine. I probably could today. I don't quite fill mine, and then I top it up with cold water from my tap, and it's just the right temperature for drinking. This is my wash setup. So I got my bowl, because it's not fixed to the shelf. I can move it anywhere I want. Hot water. Just enough. You learn how to be frugal with everything and resourceful, and keep my toiletries. So, ready to have a wash? So we're going to get up close and personal now. So because I'm an old hag, yeah, I have to have a shave every morning to get rid of my little witchy whiskers. So this is my setup, my bowl on my thing. So I'm just going to do a quick flick around my whiskers. Otherwise, I'll have a full-on beard and tash by 5 o'clock. And lovely hot water. So as you can see, there's not a lot of water in there. I don't leave a tap running. You get very economical with with the resources that you have, with water, with power, anything electrics, you learn, well, is there a way of doing this without electricity, you know? There's my neighbour just heading on further on up the road. So yeah, you know, you get more careful. You value things. You value things more. You know, every drop of water you're thinking about what it can be used for. It's never rarely wasted. In fact, Boy wastes most water, which we could solve actually. By reusing the water that he doesn't use in his bowl, and putting it in a bottle. Just have a bottle for him, and I've just not quite got organised enough for that. But it's so lovely and warm on a cold and frosty morning. So that's that. Hang up my flannel. I have my towel on my knee to catch any drips of water, because I don't want them to go on my floor, because my floor is fabric and it's padded as well, so it's soft on my knees. So when I'm kind of about in the day, it's not hard to sit on. It's a soft floor. Okay, that's my morning wash routine. Now, my hair gets very unruly, so tiny little get everything that's small. So downsize everything. This is just a cheap little hairbrush. Instead of using a massive paddle brush that I usually use, or used to use at home, I no longer use one at all. I use this all the time. I really miss living in the van. I think we might need to remedy that. So no running water. So towel over me, and a little bit of damp on my hair to get the knots out. And I'll be very surprised if there's many knots in my hair this morning, because I didn't move about much last night. I stayed as still as possible, clinging to the hot water bottle. Well, there is a few. That sunshine's beautiful this morning. So I'm the kind of person that spends bare minimum time and money on hairdressers and hair products. So I suppose I'm lucky, really. My needs are simple. If you've got, if you use hair tongs and hair dryers and all that, you've got to be prepared to say goodbye to them, really. I always save my hair from my hairbrush, and I give it to the birds for their nest. Wouldn't that make a good little thing for a nest? If I was a bird, I'd quite like to cozy up with that. There. I just need to brush my teeth and I'm ready for the day. That is a bit crazy. We'll get there. A work in progress. Now the other thing is that all the blinds, this is the exception. I use a curtain across here because I find it far easier, and it just pulls out and opens up. I'm not going to open it fully at the moment because I actually can do that bit there to let some light in. But all the others have covers on, and this one here I'll show you. the last one. So I made them myself. They don't have to cost you a fortune. So I got some insulated bubble, foil bubble. It's basically foil bubble wrap, but it's a bit thicker. And I used that for ages for the first year, and then I finally got round to covering them. So I've got blackout fabric. It's really thick. Blackout fabric on the outside so that it looks like there's just, you can't see in at all, it just looks black, so it's good for stealth camping. And on the inside I wanted it pretty, of course, and I cut up a big throw that I bought from somewhere, cotton throw, and it made my curtain, and it covered all of my blinds for my windows as well, so I covered them over. There's little tags that I use to Velcro onto, because I've got fabric on my thing, so I use Velcro, and you can just push it on and tuck them into the sides or whatever. And daytime I slide them into there. So I've got this lovely, you can use cargo nets or whatever, but I had this lovely doily tablecloth, and I don't know if you can see, there's a little black hook there. These hooks are fantastic, they're very spiky, right, and they slot into the fabric of your van, and put it the right way around, slot it in there, and then I just hook that up, and we've got the blinds all stored up above our heads and out the way during the day. Now there's a view to wake up to. Isn't that beautiful? Now, boy, you coming? -5 it's reading. It was bloody cold.